Hello, Al Pals. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends, a special two-night legend event. Welcome to night one. The film is Legend from 1985, the Ridley Scott fantasy film starring Tom Cruise, Sara, and probably one of the best devils ever put on screen, Tim Curry as the Lord of Darkness. Tonight we are going to be watching the director's cut, which is about an hour 53 minutes, and it features the soundtrack of Jerry Goldsmith. And when I think of Jerry Goldsmith, I think of the Birdman from Soundtracks with Birdman. Welcome, Daniel Heron. How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay. I'm recovering from 3 teeth extractions earlier in the week, so I did not get a lot of prep work done for the show. I apologize for that, but I'm happy to be here and discuss this with you.
That is fine. I am just so glad that you're here. I tried to get a couple other of the Birdman's soundtrack pals, but it was late notice, and one of them is in the middle of a night in another country overseas. So I kind of figured, but I wanted to make sure that they knew the offer was extended, because Jerry Goldsmith is probably, I would say, would I be bad to say that he is probably the second most appreciated composer after John Williams?
I would say he's equal to John Williams.
Equal? Well, high praise.
His films, probably a lot of them not had the success of John Williams films.
Right. But the quality of his work is definitely.
You give him a crap movie, and you're going to get a phenomenal score from him.
Right. I've heard a lot of his works. This Legend was, like I said, came out in 85. Ridley Scott made it. Goldsmith's was the first soundtrack they came up with it, and in fact, it is the soundtrack that's in the European version. But for some reason, they thought the U.S. audiences they wanted to gear it more towards kids, so they put in the Tangerine Dream.
There was a test screening that Ridley Scott went to, and some people were like laughing during the movie, and it turns out they were all high. But the executives thought if they replaced the Goldsmith score with Tangerine Dream, it would help attract the younger audience, and that's what they were going for.
And I will admit, because Tangerine Dream was the one I first saw, and I didn't see the Goldsmith version until the Ultimate DVD or whatever version of that came out back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I finally saw the director's cut, and that score totally changes the feel of the film. So when I wanted to do a Legend rewatch, I was like, what do I use? I don't know. I discussed it with the Normal Saturday crew, and they were kind of more in the Tangerine Dream thing. I said, well, I'll do a special one tonight. And we're going to get going in a moment, because I don't want to go over 10, because on Troy Pacelli's channel tonight at 10, they're doing a rewatch of the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I don't want to impede too much into that. But let me welcome the chat here real quick. Got Go Team Ghost Planet Forevermore. Thank you for stopping by. D Penzak, thank you so much. And that's it so far, which is fine. Like I said, the Friday night's kind of a quick one. I do want to say we don't have a Cosby link for tonight. That's something that Troy is able to do. I don't know how to do that yet, so kind of have to have it yourself. It is out there on it's easy as 1, 2, 3, if you know what I mean by that. And if you want to put it in your locker, and you can find it that way too. Tonight we're going to be watching the 1 hour and 53 minute director's cut which adds a lot of cool little things, and it just makes it a whole different film. And wanted to have got John Green popped in. He's never seen the director's cut. Looking forward to it. I hope you have it. I do not have it on a Cosme link tonight, John. I do apologize. Like I said, if you want to go, I could tell you exactly. Go 1, 2, 3 movies, type in legend, and then go to page 5, and it's in the third row. It's like that's exactly where it is. You can actually watch it on that site. I've never had a problem with the site as far as the big V, if you know what I mean, viruses. But that is up to you guys. Oh, he has both versions. That's cool. We're watching the other one tomorrow night. So let me get this queued up. We'll get into it because, like I said, don't want to go into Troy's time too much. I'm starting at about 2 seconds. I've got some stars on the screen, but that's just me right now. You ready to?
Yeah, I'm good. You're good.
Okay, start. I'm going to count down and we'll start on the start. 3, 2, 1, start. Universal Pictures. But yeah, I remember seeing this.
Is Tim Curry a Universal monster now?
He should be. Sadly, they don't really, the Universal monsters they're kind of cut off after. Well, I on my Facebook page, I kind of Universal monsters. I kind of cut it off at 1960. So it's a lot of those, plus some of the sci-fi creatures like Meddler the Mutant, the Brain Guy that you love so much.
Yeah, Brain Guy.
Yeah, we got people in here. Tim Curry is on his name on the screen there. David Bennett, who was 18 or 17 at the time of this. I think he was 18. I will say I remember seeing this at a theater very close to here, actually, where I live now, and just loved it. I loved the high fantasy stuff, throwing in fairies and dwarves and goblins, and I love this universe, and I love the Tangerine Dream stuff too. But this really does take it down a much darker route. And I kind of, part of me wishes this was the version I saw back in 86. It was released, I think, January 86 in America. It's considered an 85 movie because it came out in England at the end of the year.
Which is odd. We usually get things first.
Yeah, I know, which is kind of a shock. Because it was mostly shot over there in Pinewood Studios. In fact, it was
007 sound stages.
Right, yeah, and it burned down. And it kind of... God, his voice. He was so perfect for this role.
I just saw him last night in Home Alone 2.
Oh, cool. He really suffered doing this role. Those big horns were not easy to wear. Those glasses, Ridley Scott still has them. I love them things. They look so cool.
So there's a version that opens up with a torture scene. That's the U.S. version?
Not really a torture scene. The U.S. version opens up with like a little epilogue, prologue thing. Not epilogue, prologue's the first one. It's just a written scroll kind of intro, tells you all about the stuff. This one goes right into darkness. Blacker than the foulest witch.
See, I thought that guy was a puppet, but that's like a real guy in just a goblin suit.
Oh, Blix, the
Yeah.
goblin. Yeah, that's actually Alice Payton. It's actually a woman. Sadly, just passed away a few years ago, I think. But it's a great performance. And I think a lot different from, I know in the European version, you don't see darkness for like well into the film. In the US version, he kind of pops in like he's like right in the first part of it. Yep, Tim Curry almost played the Joker in the DC animated universe. And Tim Curry could have pulled off Darth Vader's voice. Yeah, I think so. It would have been an interesting take. But Ridley Scott was inspired to use Tim Curry because he'd seen him in Rocky Horror. And he almost used Richard O'Brien uh, as Meg Knucklebones, the swamp creature later on. And you said you haven't seen this whole thing, right?
I rented it on video cassette years ago, and the music was just like not doing it for me. And Tom Cruise was kind of vacant stare mixed together. It's like
if someone held me down and tortured me and asked me what my favorite Tom Cruise movie was, I would still say Legend.
Really?
I just really like. I'm not saying it's his best performance, but it's my favorite Tom Cruise movie.
Okay, so is this the Tom Cruise movie or is this the Ridley Scott film?
I consider a Ridley Scott film, but if, like I said, if someone said, "What are your favorite of all the films Tom Cruise was in?" I would say Legend. Either version, really, because I love this kind of a film. Pure fantasy, unicorns. I mean, look at this. The set is beautiful. The design is just. It's a world I would love to live in.
I think this was Ridley Scott's fourth film. Is that right?
I don't know. I know he was coming up for the concept of it while they were doing pre-production for Blade Runner. He sat down with I can't pronounce the guy's name, like Horstenberg or something, who had some elements for it, and Ridley Scott had some stuff he wanted to have in a film. He wanted to have like fairies and goblins and unicorns and that kind of a universe. First off, Mia Sara.
Not ugly. Not ugly.
Not ugly at all. You're correct, sir. D. Penzak saying he thinks it was Scott's third film. Huh, that's not creepy at all.
Doesn't everybody have a cuckoo clock like that?
Yeah. Foreshadow, a vision. Because establishing she is a princess, Princess Lili, with an I, Lili. I honestly didn't know that until I was preparing for this film. I was like, oh, it's Lili. For some reason, I always thought it was Y.
Do you have both versions of the film score?
Yeah, the basic ones. I mean, they're tucked away. Playing Sloane in Ferris Bueller. Yep. She's also in Time Cop. You ever seen Time Cop?
No. Is that
With
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Actually, a pretty good little movie. Might have to do a rewatch of that in the new year.
Maybe we could do it New Year's Eve.
Oh, we could do it here too.
What day is New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve is Saturday night, and I've already got one planned.
Okay.
Yeah, my December after this, the next rewatch I'm doing in 2 weeks is the original Miracle on 34th Street, since we are entering December, and then the 51 version of A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sim, and then New Year's Eve, When Harry Met Sally. Because it takes place on New Year's Eve at the end of the film.
I just got Miracle on 34th Street. It's got the Bruce Rock remake score and the original score by Cyril Mockridge, 2 CD set from La La Land. It was on sale. I don't know if it's on sale anymore.
Or that Time Cop?
No, Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, Miracle on 34th. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I haven't been in the mailbox in like a week, and I went today. And
yeah, the Miracle on 34th Street's kind of Tom Cruise.
He looks young there. I can see it.
Tyrai, I hope I'm Tyray Deus. Thanks to Tim Curry as Pennywise. Can't watch any version of it. That is a great performance. Tim Curry brings it in every film. Tim Curry talk about Mia Sara playing Harley Quinn in the Birds of Prey series. I love the lines the goblins have. You see all that little stuff flying around, all I can think of is like, good thing they don't have allergies. Like I said, all this was cut out of the regular versions.
Is there a version that has all the footage in it?
I think this is probably the closest you're going to get. I'm trying to remember. I can't. It's been a while. I'm trying to remember if this one has the riddle battle. When he meets Honeythorn Gump and the little folk. I remember I never saw that until I was watching it on a broadcast version, like on a Saturday afternoon, and they had a few bits and pieces I'd never saw in the regular version before, and I'm like, whoa, that's like cool. They're in the Upside Down, a lot of floaties. What's cool is one of the Fey folk and legend played Wildor in Masters of the Universe. Yep, Billy Barty. Also played the High Alwyn in Willow that I watched on mine last couple weeks ago.
When does the Willow TV show start? Next month.
The what?
The Willow TV show, is that next month?
Yeah, from what I understand, it's supposed to start at the end of this month. I don't know if they've pushed it back or not, though. I'm looking forward to that. I know Disney gets a lot of crap, but Mandalorian book, for some reason, people dump on Book of Boba Fett. I thought was awesome. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, all great. The Marvel ones have been hit and miss, but I'm looking forward to see what they do with Willow. I think it's a very rich universe that they can play in, and they're not going to follow the books. They're doing a whole new thing, which I think is fine because you have to be a super hardcore Willow fan to have read the books.
Did you read the books?
I never did read the book. I had the first one, but I never got around to reading it. I think I eventually, I don't think I have it anymore. They did a lot of weird things in the book. I heard that in the book series that kind of, I don't know. I love that they used humpback whale sounds for the unicorns.
Is this the same unicorn from Blade Runner?
The what?
Same unicorn. I was being funny. Is it the same unicorn from Blade Runner?
You know, that some people think he did that because he was kind of had legend on his mind at the time. Ugly one-horned mules. The 80s had so many amazing practical effects movies thanks to Star Wars. You're right. I still think practical effects are the way to go. Yep, you need to rewatch Willow. If you want to rewatch it, you can find on our channel. We rewatched it a couple weeks ago. Watch it once just with nothing, and watch it with us talking in the background. Pretentious little princess. Don't touch the unicorn. Of course, in mythology, unicorns are attracted to innocence and purity. She has these beautiful dark eyes. Gotta love it. Watched Ledger with director commentary. I need to do that. I don't do commentary much, but I bet this would be a fun one to listen to the commentary on. So this scene is a lot tenser than in the Tangerine Dream version.
Yep, that was probably my big problem when I rented it. It was the Tangerine Dream. It just does not do anything for me.
Yeah, and I think they cut, like I said, between the changing of the mood. I mean, there are very few films that you can look at two different versions with two different film scores and see just how much music influences a film. This is a classic case.
You know, visually, I think Ridley Scott is a far better director than Steven Spielberg.
Oh, do what now?
Visually, Ridley Scott is a far better director than Steven Spielberg.
Oh yeah, Ridley Scott does great visuals, but I think it's the emotional resonance where Spielberg is able to uh, excel. I want to see the new film that he's got coming out, The Fablemans.
Yeah, I got kind of mixed feelings.
Kind of a pseudo biographical.
Yeah.
Darn goblins! No, you're right, John. She does not sing in the other version. She just kind of approaches it and touches it, and that's when it gets hit with the thing. And see, none of this really is in that other version. See, she still doesn't realize what she's done. Must have been hell finding a glue to keep those horns stuck on while they were like prancing around like that.
Wait, those aren't real unicorns?
Huh?
Those aren't real unicorns?
Well, back during Noah's Ark, there was a little issue with the lions. Kind of ate the last two of them, and they got no more. If anybody gets what I'm referring to, you're probably like, you're cool. I always wonder. It's like a little bit of skew of the cinematography in this. I don't know if he's doing it to create the illusion of being underwater, but it's like the frame is stretched or something. Yeah, Birdman. Was it you, Birdman? Talk about you were watching Home Alone 2
Last night.
Yeah, last night.
I didn't make it all the way through, but I started.
I think she's starting to understand she did something bad. Did they ever make a novelization of this?
Sure, they did. They made one of everything back in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember if they did. If they did, if I have it. If I do, I don't know where it is. If they did and I don't have it, I need it. It got cold real quick. Winter is coming.
Goldsmith spent about 6 months on this film score, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It's a beautiful score. I mean, I can agree that they probably should have kept this. Although I do like the novelty of the Tangerine Dream. I like that feel, but man, it just makes this a whole different film. House of Blix was such a great design. Those long ears and pointy nose. And if you listen closely to Blix's voice, and then later when Gump shows up, Alice Playton dubbed David Bennett because he sounded too German. Depenzak, say what you will, the film is visually stunning. Yes, it is. It's a beautifully designed film. John Green, someone cuts a unicorn horn off around every December. Winter is now explained. Who needs a magic wand? Just get a unicorn horn. I love the glittering effect in the snow. Really adds a nice touch. Now, full disclosure, here's one of my favorite characters. I love Una the fairy. He's Honeythorn Gump. So the prosthetics in this movie just add so much to the belief we are seeing how everything and everyone blends so well together. Tom Cruise plays a classic D&D ranger in the movie. Oh, I never thought about that. I could see that. Ranger, maybe part druid too. And Tim Curry is a scary looking Satan. Yep. Although technically he's not called Satan, it's just Lord of Darkness or just Darkness. But it is a great design. See, I think Gump already knows. He's just playing with him. See, some of it is that they cut out the squawk, squawk, no more talk.
Who are these guys again?
These guys, they're just like fae folk, the fairy world.
Oh.
Brownies. Now, I remember seeing this when I watched the televised version of it. They had this little riddle battle. Yeah, Bubbles.
Well, they're kind of creepy looking.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to be that uncanny feeling. Get you. I like how he freaks out in this.
It's quite the Eric Cartman moment.
A little bit, but all of this is cut out of the American and of the regular theatrical versions. Because when he says I did it for love, then they go through. That's when they go to the wine part, which is coming up. I just love this. The little teeny cups and that bottle. Seeing the other version, just before he takes a sip, he goes to Lili, and they cut that out. So years later, Steven Spielberg uses the Luna plot. I think you mean Una device in Hook, the pretty woman actress. You're talking about Tinkerbell, yeah. The pretty little fairy is in love with Peter Pan in that, and of course with Jack in this one. But I do know the name Una does come from I think Celtic mythology. can't remember. So what do you think so far, Birdman? Hey, Daniel.
I'm sorry.
I said, what do you think? What do you think so far? The difference of the soundtrack.
Well, I didn't make it this far in with Tangerine Dreams.
Yeah. Would you have made it this far with this soundtrack?
Probably so. I mean, visually, it's very stunning.
Yeah. It really, when it came out, it did not do well, sadly.
No, it did not. I think it had like a 30 million budget, and I don't think they came close to recouping that.
Let me see. They had a budget of 24.5 and a box office of 23.5, so they fell a mil short. But it's become a cult hit since then, and I know they've made a lot back from
Videotape and TV showings.
video and DVD and stuff like that. It's really got a great cult following. I love the lighting in this scene, like coming up from below the unicorn, making it look like it's got its own luminescence. I did it for a girl. I kept waiting for Rob Zombie's Monsters to become a cult classic.
How long is that going to take?
David Penzak saying, suggests listen to Eric Wood's Cinema Sound podcast on this film. It's a two-parter and very good. Yeah, that's a man who knows his soundtracks. Of course, if you don't follow Soundtracks with Birdman, definitely check that Mondays. Well, when everything is working right.
Or you got three people with three separate lives, and they don't get paid to do it. So
that's true.
You got to work.
But when the stars align Monday, they do the Batman show where it's Daniel Herron, the Birdman, Eric Woods, and Ian Clark, and they know their stuff on soundtracks. Definitely check that out about 2:00 usually, Eastern Standard.
Yep, and we're scheduled to be back on Monday.
Are you doing John Barry or are you doing a general show?
No, because John Barry's cursed.
He said every time you try to do a John Barry score, it like blows up in your face.
Yeah.
Literally,
we're just going to play it here for the most part. So, like, whatever we want to talk about. I know we're going to discuss the Fableman some and probably Conan the Destroyer, since that's dropping next week from Entrada. LA Confidential just dropped for Sara today.
Cool.
Which is another Goldsmith score.
I want a little gnome-like guy protecting the last unicorn on the planet. Like I'm going to take him to get some armor and a sword. Just happen to know where a cave happened to have some stuff in. Follow the bouncing ball. Now, when I played D&D, I had a character that was when they had the Cavalier class way back, and my character came across this little blue floating ball of light, and he hoped I was going to end up like irritating it and fighting it, but I said hello, and it became kind of my companion. I called him Sparky. He grew too. He went from the size of a ping pong ball to the size of a beach ball.
Wow.
He was cool. A little Sparky. He was made of like gas, so he was able to like, ignite and like throw flame. Now I will say, as most of you know, if you've seen one of my old videos about swords and weapons I would love to own, this one is not on there because for some reason it bugs me. It just looks off kilter. Annabelle Lanyon. Only the lucky know the meaning of Birdman logic. It's the most wobbly sword of all time. Yeah, I'm kind of a sword snob when it comes to weapons. Although I like fancy, but I also like functional, and it just doesn't look functional. It looks like something you'd buy for $10 at a farmer's market, and you put it on your wall, and it falls off and it breaks. Big D.
Well,
he got uh he got a little into himself, thinking he was all something. There's a lot to be said for that statement. It's like She's just a female. It's like, what kind of power does she have? The power of creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Green fish scale armor. He knows what I'm talking about. John Green's my battle buddy from my medieval days. I actually don't mind scale armor. I like the fact that his armor in this was flattened out bottle caps. Sounds like something we would have made way back when. Oops. I tell you, sometimes all you need is a cooking pan. Just ask Rapunzel from Tangled. Do you ever see Tangled?
No.
The animated Rapunzel
Yeah.
Disney did. She does a lot of damage with a frying pan. Yeah, Brown Tom, it does have some fight in him. You literally can look at his armor and tell that they were bottle caps. I never realized it until like just looking at it real close.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
What?
The bottle cap.
Yeah, they kind of work, which is kind of weird. John Green's mentioning soda can tabs were a thing for Markland armor. They would like weave them together, try to look like scale mail. It is funny though. He's got armor, but he has nothing protecting his legs. I love this scene because it's strange thinking who the actor is that does the part of Meg Knucklebones. Yep, Meg Knucklebones, played by Robert Picardo, the Doctor from Voyager.
Yeah. He was in an episode of Deep Space Nine.
Who, Picardo?
He played the Doctor dude from Voyager. Did you
Yeah.
not watch Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, I did. Everybody popped up on the other shows.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
They were looking for a replacement for the Dr. Holograph thing, and they were looking at Dr. Bashir.
And another great design of practical makeup.
Because that's not a puppet.
No, it is not. It is Robert Picardo in makeup.
That's insane.
Did you ever see the movie Explorers with the kids who went
No.
into space? He was in that playing an alien too. Robert Picardo did a lot of makeup work for a while. He's also in Inner Space. Oh, he does Amazo in the DC animated universe. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've met him a couple times at conventions. Nice guy, very talented.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. Depends, like, say, watching the Arrow release of this film. The level of detail is impressive. Oh, that glowing eyes. We'll say Darkness does have a magnificent entrance.
give me one
Coming
second.
up.
Big Al. Be right back.
Oh, okay. Ridley Scott hallmarks the columns. I didn't know that. Okay. Everything okay?
Yeah, big boy just wanted to come in.
How's the Wolfpack doing?
It's good. I feel like I've been home more this week.
Here's the thing. I think I'll pull it.
It's always a good idea, right?
Yeah. I'm not as old as I used to be. And it makes, like I said, I like you think about it. There is an interesting story there with him.
Barbecue.
And of course, his name is Kieran Shaw. Of course, he has played an Ewok and was in The Hobbit. A lot of the Star Wars things. That's one thing with like fantasy and sci-fi. If you're a little person, you will find work in the.
Isn't this just better than Tangerine Dream now?
What?
Isn't this just better than Tangerine Dream?
Oh, I mean, I'm not disputing that it's better. It is better.
And in all fairness, I don't think there's anything they've done that I cared for. So probably a Tangerine Dream.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
I said I don't think they've done anything that I care for, so I'm probably like a Tangerine Dream hater.
Yeah. It's like you see the guy in the back just getting chopped up. I had such a crush on Una.
And who's that again?
I had such a crush on Una.
Yeah, but who's the actress?
Her name's Annabelle Lanyon. She's a British actress. She really hasn't done. I mean, she's done stuff, but she's just not that well known. Sweeter than bee pollen. Yeah, Kieran Shaw is a legend. I was reading his credits. I was like, he's been in everything. Fairy magic. Don't spurn a fairy, man. It's never a good idea. Like I said, don't reject a fairy. No, but I've always loved the image of like, you know, fairies and sprites and stuff like that. My ex loved fairies too. She used to collect them. She especially loved collecting dark-haired fairies because she had dark hair, and she's like, you always see blonde fairies or redhead fairies. You very rarely see brunette fairies. So every time she saw a brunette fairy, she was always tempted to buy it if she could afford it.
Never really thought about that.
Yeah, it's just something. Yeah, just something she was. Just a little quirk she had. I like how they keep time. 500 beats of a heart of a what was it, a blue jay's heart or something like that, bluebird's heart.
That's Bill Barty, right?
Yep, Billy Barty and Cork Hubbard is playing the other one. Brown Tom, Screwball, and Brown Tom.
It's really a beautiful film.
I know. I love that use of slow mo going with her running like that. Adds to the dreamlike state.
Did this get any Academy Award nominations at all?
I don't think so. Nothing that's really mentioned.
I would think cinematography, production design, costume.
Well, I think what hurt it was how they cut it and edited it. If they had presented this version, the director's cut version with the Goldsmith soundtrack, I think it would have had a much better reception. Not saying by the general public, but I'm saying in the industry, with things like the cinematography and the design and makeup and costume design. Were they doing makeup at the Academy Awards in 85, 86?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because I don't know if it was nominated for that or not. Plus, when you release a film in January, it kind of gets lost. Yeah, for the next year.
Kind of the month you release the things you don't think you're going to do much business.
It must have been hell getting all that glitter off of them at the end of the day.
Glitter's just safety.
Huh?
See, glitter is just safe.
I will say I hate glitter.
I've got a client, and they've been using a lot of glitter for people's birthdays. They put glitter all over the people's desks, like all over. And so I'm like, people stop doing this.
But like Christmas cards and things like that, when there's glitter on it, I hate that. Where it comes off. I mean, I like the look of it, but I hate that it comes off and you get glitter all over the place. Oh, it was not. Okay, it was nominated. It won the British Society of Cinematography Award for Best Cinematography. Oh, an Oscar for Best Makeup. Let me see if there's anything in this one. This is such a cool scene.
Is this scene in the Tangerine version?
Yes, it's edited a little differently. Because this is the outfit she's going to be wearing in a minute. It kind of just appears on her. They kind of she gets combined with this, whatever it is. Yeah, like I said, Dave Penzak, tomorrow night we're going to be watching the Tangerine Dream version. It's going to be really different watching it. I kind of wish Troy and Nanette could have watched tonight. And Daniel, you're welcome to join tomorrow night to see the other version.
Let me see how my tomorrow goes.
Yeah, I gotta say,
I've been struggling this week.
It's late for you, and you've been, hurting. Yeah, this scene's a lot shorter in the American version. There she is. Dark Lili.
Is that like dark gray? I was making
Yeah.
Star Wars too.
That is a plunging neckline, my friend. I love this end. He is finally here. An hour and 16 minutes in, he's finally going to be revealing his full self.
This movie would have disturbed me as a child.
It is, to this day, one of the best devil designs. Those horns are impressive.
And are we sure that's Tim Curry?
That is Tim Curry. So most classic monsters reveal themselves late in the movie. Yep. Germinates within you. I just love how he says that. I love his laughter. It is awesome. Foreshadowing. What's my time code? I am at 11959 120. 120.05. Brown Tom is dragging Screwball behind him. Whoa. He's biting his kneecap. Opening up my Diet Mountain Dew for the final battle. I think he's baked in a pie. Well, not quite baked, but was going to be baked. He must mean it. He's swearing on the festering forelock of Nicodemus.
Pretty hardcore.
I tell you. But it does amaze me when I look at a director's cut like this and you see all the extra stuff that they have, all the story elements that got cut out. It's like, man, that's a lot of money that's just gone. It's like, well, it's about $2 million in filming that we didn't even bother to use.
Do you think this is the better version?
I think the director's cut is the best version because it has a lot more story elements to it. It adds different relevant plot points. It kind of it just has I think it just has a better plot flow. Although knowing the shorter version so well, it does seem a bit odd in places because I'm so used to a certain tight, it's a tighter story. It's 20 some minutes of extra footage they used. And while maybe it didn't need to use it all, I think they could have tightened it up, maybe cut 5 minutes off here and there. I think would have really made it a tight film. I like that look on Jack's face when he kicked him. he was like, he was mean about it. Oh, getting the Conan treatment, just dumping the soup on him. Here's the psycho. The Psycho 2 music. That cook worked all day on that meal, and you just ruined it.
Probably wasn't a very good meal.
Well, good meal for a goblin or a devil. Death by soup. But it does remind me of that scene from Conan the Barbarian when he dumps out the soup with all the body parts in it. Winter is soup weather. Yep. I might try to make a pot of soup one day. Except I only know how to make soup like my mom did, which was like a big old pot full. Could freeze it though, I guess.
I'll make like a barbecue or hamburger stew, and I'll just keep it for like a week and a few days.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about the barbecue soup or stew. That sounded good.
It was pretty tasty. It was, I think,
Yeah.
3 cans of barbecue, a can of lima beans, 2 cans of potatoes, 2 cans of potatoes, I mean, tomatoes, a can of corn.
Hmm.
Uh,
My mom used to make a great, just basic beef vegetable soup.
yeah.
Oh man, that was good. I don't
Put
know
like
what the secret was, but
2 cans of beef broth in it. I ate on it for like about a week and a half.
like I said, next week I'm going to be making stuffing and green bean casserole for the first time by myself. Be interested to see how it comes out. How many men have felt like that on a date? Like, sit or stand, whatever. Yeah. Get all frustrated. That's the only way to make soup. Yep, got to make a lot of it. John Green, the older I get, the more I appreciate soup. Of maturity. I like that line. You smooth talker. Emo Lili. Or Goth Lily. Either one will work. I love this. Oh. That little rampaging. Now here's where I'm wondering. He seems like a sucker that he's buying this. Oh, Progresso loaded potato soup. Yeah, I've had that. It's good. And the broccoli and cheese and bacon. He's pooped. It's like fly, 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 little fairy. I look at that and I think every one of those swords and skulls and bits of armor have a story to tell.
Imagine if your bedroom was like that.
Yeah. Well, I got a helmet as a lamp, thanks to John Green. my old helmet from my fighting days. Does she have a unibrow? I gotta look at that a little closer. You know, this chat's making me hungry now, talking about soup and guacamole and hot sauce.
I would like a pizza myself.
I love guacamole. God, I've been wanting to get some. Been wanting some hummus too. Zoom. She does have a little bit of a unibrow. Just the makeup though. Yeah, the helmet lamp is that was cool, man. That was a great job. I've gotten several compliments on that from my nurses and stuff. You trust her? Oh, the bull rush. That's a big ass sword. No, we don't have Piggly Wigglies up here. I have Food Lion. That's why I use Food Lion. It's like, come on, wake up. Our medieval days, we used to call that Hollywooding when you'd like spin around like that. Never turn your back to your opponent. My favorite line is coming up. Every wolf suffers fleas. 'Tis easy enough to scratch. I love that line. Here comes the sun. Hip juggling makes it easier to hit when they turn their back. Yep. We had one find that out the hard way. Blink? And he becomes 5 little things light. I never understood that. Exactly what happened to him. Was that the night sky, or was it like another realm? It became a constellation, a legend. Oh, that's cool. Although they kind of did that in Clash of the Titans. You see how what I mean by like the imagery is kind of like skewed a bit. I mean, it kind of works in a weird way. Oh, I love this music. Very epic sounding. Now, who put her back in her original clothes? Or did they just appear? Depends. That gets a lens trick. Yeah, I knew what they were doing. It just, you know, just when I guess it's for the underwater scene. There was a rumor when the Legend of Zelda came out that they based it a little bit on this. It's a false rumor, but still. You know what's kind of cool is that is Tom Cruise's real hair. He did grow it long for this role. Whoops. Da, 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 da. I wonder if you can get copies of that ring.
Sure, someone.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody made it. You know what prop I would really like to have that I think would be cool? The wolf's head cane from the original Wolfman. I know they're out there. I just think it's kind of cool. Depend's bugging out a bit early. I appreciate you stopping by, man, and contributing to the chat. I truly do. Thank you for being a part of it. Had a lot of fun. Like I said, doing Tangerine Dream version tomorrow night. I'm getting double legend. See, none of this is in the other version. Because in the other version, they run off together. Vic Armstrong, with a well-known stunt coordinator there.
Yeah.
Such a different ending, such a different film, from the music to the editing to the added scenes. I like this. So what'd you think, Birdman? Much better. A lot better without the Tangerine Dream soundtrack on your end, eh? It's kind of like I said, it's one of those things. It's Tangerine Dream's the first version I saw, and it's still kind of, when I think of Legend, that's what I think of. But this is a superior version of the film. It definitely is. The music, the extra scenes, a different thing, a lot of different elements to it that really changes the film.
thank you for inviting me to do this. I don't know about the.
Well, thank you for being here, man. Like I said, I know you appreciate the soundtrack version of a lot of these films, and of course, films with friends, and you're a friend, so I definitely like sharing a good film.
Well, I know people want to get on over to Black Day with Troy, so.
Yeah, definitely check Troy Pacelli out. If you are a fan of the Star Wars Holiday Special, they are rewatching it tonight. I'm sure he'll have the Cosby link, so you don't need to have a copy of it. That's why I started a little bit early so that people could get over there and watch that. I'll let you enjoy the rest of the soundtrack on your own there, everybody. But yeah, I wanted to bug out before Troy got on because don't want to enter his time. Thank you everyone for joining us for this. Like I said, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock on this same channel here, going to be watching the US version of this with the Tangerine Dream soundtrack. A lot shorter, a lot different version, so it's not exactly the same. Troy should have it on Cosme. Thank you, Birdman, for joining me. If you please check out his channel, Soundtracks of Birdman. The guy knows his stuff. So everyone, thank you. You're all legends to me, all my Al pals. Enjoy the evening. Take care.